Yengi family Kimbo, nZambi Pungu Tulendo, nZambi Mawisha, nZambi Akubenesha, Mukanda, Tata, Mukanda Isolele, Bana Betu, Mukanda. Oh, I thank the sister that was watching the video, Mukanda, which we know also is referred to the scriptures, but Mukanda family. Mukanda Bana Betu Isolele, Yengi Keno, Luvuvamu Yala. Let's lay it again. Doing this video. It's been a very eventful weekend. Things have been really happening. A lot of things. I can tell that now we're getting a lot closer. Things I have now envisioned have now become to transpire in other ways. So I know it's starting to get closer. And we saw some warnings and stuff that's going on. Oh, sorry, excuse me. And I know that things are getting ready to change in a major way. People just don't know. I first want to give honor, Kimball, and Golo to Tata nZambi and Pungu Tulendo Father, Yave Kongo, Matonda Masaki's love for this job. All things come of thee, Tata nZambi, that you are doing. Pray Tata nZambi that you will continue to wake us up, bring back your people to the kingdom of Isolele, kingdom of Congo. Show the world the deception that continues to grow at this time, and to help us to grow and more and get the Yave Kongo. Honor, Yissa'Yah Kongo. As the song says, Yesu Nangai. There's another song I was going to talk about that they talk about Kitoko, Bayete. Honor to the Mwanda Velada, Pele, Moyo. They give honor to the 24 elders, the righteous. Give honor to the Maliki Makongo, all of the righteous of Isolele, from Adama, righteous Bana Betu, from Adama on up to now. Greetings, give honor. Give honor to all of those who are working in this truth diligently, all the elders, those who are part of this awakening. Tutondele Mengi for what you continue to do. To all those that are coming into this awakening, we welcome you, as well as those who continue to support us and listen, welcome you as well. Coming humbly before you today because things can change in an instant. You just don't know with life. And it's funny how the most I keep saying, it's funny how this, like I said, this is 8 years since I had a serious vision. And I know the number 8, how they represent it is one thing, how the Most High is oh, excuse me, sorry, completion. Because I know 7 is holy, but 8 is another number he uses. Of course, 9, we know about that. And the 11 part, we know the code. For those that don't know, 9/11, 9, the final kingdom, 11, the tribes that were divorced, because Yaoundé, Yuda was never divorced. And that's how you know the people who are calling themselves are false, because the original Hebrews, Yaoundé was never divorced. But yet, we got Esau, he's copying his brother. So now, this entitled, I'm trying to go too long, is the biggest lie ever told is we are all God's children. But you hear this all the time in churches. Everybody is the same. We all come from the same, everything's the same. And one of the reasons why this is being said is it's to hide the fact of what happened in the days of Noka and the days now, is that you have people on this earth that are not coming from the Most High. As a matter of fact, this is why they honor their planet, so-called, so much. But they love to talk about it because this is exactly the seeding. That they even did a movie about it when they said Earth was seeded with different species. But they didn't want to tell you that this is the people who are clean, that are not clean, or that are hybrids, or whatever they want to call them. Of course, the DNA used for them is stolen and modified, but this is what they don't want to tell you because, I'm terribly sorry. If everybody, the reality is they know that they hate the Most High because they want to destroy everything that he's about. And they've done that to this world. And they've created every kind of destruction they could possibly can. And of course, then they want to blame it on the people who use it to say, oh yeah, you're causing this, you're causing that. And they know the deal. I'm going to share the screen here. Sorry, I was checking something out. Because but yeah, I was telling me about this variant. It sounds a lot like Bena too. And I'm like, yep, I agree. I'm going to start with the book of Lamilia, chapter 50 once again. And this is a scripture that they will not really expound upon in the churches. Many people don't pay attention to it. They just they've been taught just to read the Bible and learn what they tell you, but not to truly study the word the way you should. And they've been taught to study the word incorrectly for a reason. But in Amelia 50, I talked about what happened in verse 6. My people, he specifically says, my people. What this means is not everybody is his. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray, and they have turned away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to mountain till they have forgotten their resting place. All that have found them, so the people he's talking about are those who are not his, have found them, devoured them, and their adversary says, we offend not because they have sinned against Tata nZambi. They have sinned against Yave Kongo. The habitation of justice, even Yave Kongo, the hope of their fathers. So that scripture is saying that those of us who have come devoured by our adversaries, and the question you have to ask is, who are the adversaries he's referring to? This is the secret to showing people we're not all the same. Because the Most High has many enemies that are against him. Adversary literally means those who are against the Creator. Also, you can tell me not the same because he told Yissa'Yah Kongo, the one that wanted to call Jesus Christ, okay? He said, sit by my right hand until I make all of your enemies your footstool. Meaning, not everybody is from the Most High. He has enemies. Okay. This is the reason why much of the world today is living in a confused mindset. Because, and this is why you can even see people, how they look so much different and how they're conditioned to be different, because their spirituality is not the same. And here we go with the proof. Now this right here, I'm missing this. I just had it. Sorry. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, for thou art also taken, O Babylon, Babel, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Most High, nZambi. That nZambi has opened his armory and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the nZambi of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. So the Most High, his enemies, he opens up his armory, which is about to actually happen again. And this is when the world's going to recognize that there's a difference between fighting with the Most High and fighting by man's means. Come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her early, nothing be left. And this is what is actually now happening to America, but they're making it look like, so the word gang, because you see what they're talking about in LA right now, is actually a derivative or derives from Unganga in Kikongo. Unganga means one with superpower, like Christ consciousness, because as we now understand through our teachings from Yaya and others, Nganga nZambi literally means like how Kuswa Kongo Yissa'Yah could do all of his miracles and wonders. So the mockery of that, when they start talking about gangs, this is why anytime you now hear the word gangs, it becomes affiliated with Black people or people of color specifically. Now, of course, you have the motorcycle gangs, but Nganga means literally to be one of superpower. So this is why, the strongest delusion you're seeing today is the disparity of wealth is caused by those who are not the same as the Most High's chosen people, the Most High's people. We're not, they don't really, they're not categorized as even close to being the same. They don't come, They're not all God's children because Lucifer has children. Okay. Because what people didn't know was when you become cut off from the Most High, Tata nZambi, the Most High, you are Bena Kongo when you are with the Most High. You are not Bena Kongo if you're cut off. Because Bena Kongo means the children of Mwana Kongo, even children of truth. So if you're no longer in the truth, you can no longer be Kongo. Because what the world's been deceived about is they think that Congo is just a country. No, that's a lie. It's Yave Kongo is the Most High's way of truth, is the creator, Sonini Nanini. The earth is Untoto na nZambi or Untoto na Yave Kongo. Okay, his whole creation. This is why they don't want people to know or connect with the power. Zulu Mongo, Sioni belongs to Bena Tata nZambi and Pungu Yave Kongo. Okay. Mount Zion, Mount Sinai, all it in the other mountains, Mount Caleb, they belong to those Tata nZambi. Sorry. So now, what is happening that people don't understand because of the deception of the people who don't know what's really happening is verse 29, call together the archers against Babylon, all you that bend the bow. Okay, so right now, without people being aware, Tata nZambi is amassing the forces against the mystery Babylonians, which is basically the US and anybody affiliated. But they're making it look like it's just about wars among nations for power and strength and resources and all that, which there is some truth to that, but it's meant to look like these nations are against each other when some of them are even on the same side, but they're masquerading, because the enemy of all these nations is the Most High that they keep calling upon and worshiping, that they think they're worshiping. This is the problem, okay? Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. So the Most High is against anyone that is proud, especially when you keep hearing politicians saying, oh yeah, America, we're the greatest nation on earth. Be proud of your nation. Da, 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 da. You don't understand. This is something the Most High hates, but you've been conditioned to think it's okay. That's why he's doing what he's doing now. Verse 36, a sword is upon the liars, and they that shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. So pretty soon, the Most High is going to intensify a sword against those who continue to lie. Liars, people who have been deceiving, who they say they are, but they're not. Okay. Is this verse 50? One of the scriptures I saw, it says, your mother shall be ashamed. Yeah, verse 12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. So what he's saying is, there's people that come from another spirit, come from a different direction. This is why they don't, if they're not vote, they don't get the same vibration as they think, but they claim that they think they do, and they don't. This is why people think that, everything's all hunky-dory because I'm a Christian and I believe in God, and you don't even realize, like what everybody's getting ready to celebrate, happened 6 months ago because of the opposites that you're not aware of. And there was because you don't understand the concept of the Pasika Passover feast, they would have never permitted, especially with those who were making up these rules to deceive Bantu people, but also our people took part in this because of the converts that were causing issues, because they were, again, Rome had puppets even then, and they have them now, okay? You don't understand that they would have never allowed him to be sacrificed on the 6th day before the Sabbath, because it was the way it works with the Ipasika. It always starts 14 days after the New Year. So you count 1, 2, 3, you count, and it was a count. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because it was 8 days. So now, the first day is when he came on Solomon, but you call it, they want to say it was called Sondia, which it could have been, but the reality is, the Romans celebrated Sol Invictus, and the Most High's chosen feast did not coincide with Rome's very often. And so it would have depended on the alignment of it starts with the luminaries. But as I understand it, he didn't come in on a Sunday. That's a big lie. But he came in on the first day of the festival of came in on the first day of the festival of Ipasika. On the 5th day, he would have been killed because they would not have allowed them to sacrifice on the preparation day of the Sambuari, or the Sabbath. This was the problem. So there's no 6th day sacrifice like they've been celebrating. That's part of the problem. So now it says, your mother shall be sore confounded, she that bare you shall be ashamed, and in the hindermost of the nations shall be the wilderness. So now the representation of this today is the Statue of Liberty. This is why they honor this statue, because that's their mother. These people coming through the harlot. Okay. But of course they've hid this fact because they're trying to deceive Yakuba. They're trying to deceive the Bena Kongo into thinking that they're the same when they're not. There's a difference. Okay. This is why they had to spend so much time degrading the 12 tribes so that you would accept the fact that you could replace them. And of course, the identity theft that took place as well. Okay. So now we go back to Hosea chapter 2 once again. And this is where they actually, I realize now, tricked the Congolese people into saying this. Because it says it right here. And this word is not issued. This is actually a Yiddish word that they got once again in there. It said, and it shall be in that day, says Tata nZambi, that thou shalt call me Kitoko. Kitoko also means bridegroom and also male child, as we now understand. And shall call me no more Bali. So in the Lingala speaking people have been saying Mubali. So when you call Yesue Mubali, you're calling on the balls. This is why you're not getting the connection, because you're actually calling on what Eliah destroyed was Baal, the prophets of Baal. This is why his name, Bali, is a country, is an island. It's affiliated with this. the name is all over America, but they don't know, okay, in Europe and places of that nature. So he's specifically referring to people that were his own before that are going to stop calling him Baal, because it's really Kutoko, not Ishi. This is another one of these. And in that day will I make the covenant for them, the beasts of the field again, and the fowls in the heaven creeping things, and I will break the bow and the sword of battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. So there's not going to be any more war, and the animals aren't going to be dangerous anymore, okay? But he's specifically talking to the one he kicked out. Just I stripped her naked, and that's what he did. He stripped us naked, our clothes and everything, and set her as the day she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like dry land, and slay her with thirst, which is why we were hungry and thirsty, because this is what happened when the kingdom of Congo fell. I will not have mercy upon her children, for they are children of whoredoms. So because the world does not understand, the church of Laodicea is to the Most High became a harlot itself when they mixed the paganism with the real. And that's why the cup of filth is referring to this. The church of Laodicea, Assembly of Laodicea, became blasphemous. This is why the lukewarm spit me out. And that's, of course, the Catholicism, but they have been tricking people into thinking that, no, they are the church of the Most High. That's why when Simon Koko came to replace the Pope, that was a problem. The Charter of Revelation 12. So now he's saying the reason why, this is why we're trying to tell people we're not all the same. The reason why Bantu people or Bena Kongo or Bena nZambi have experienced so much trauma, Bantu Black people that's scattered across the earth, is because he says, I will have no mercy upon your children. So that's why it's always been about the mistreatment, all kind of problems. And of course, the Knights Templars know they're this because they're the one that ran the slave trade through Rome, and who financed it, who built the ships and everything. But the problem is that this is something that was caused by the Creator himself. Because like I said, of Amelia, verse 50, chapter 50, verse 6. So not everybody is the same, because the Most High has a specific group of people that he has always called. Now, and this is why, and you can tell that we're not all the same, because we know that in the John 4:22, Yissa'Yah says salvation comes through his people. Why does that have to be like that? Because the other nations are not the Most High's. They're not his children. But he had to turn his children over to them and give them and make them jealous. So everything that's caused by other nations, even other Black people, other European nations, it was made and designed to make the Bena Kongo jealous, the Bantu people jealous, that these other nations had what they didn't have anymore. But of course, what has happened is they turn it into an extravaganza to where you become desirable of things. And this is where it causes the disparity of wealth, that people are now robbing and killing. And that's why one of the reasons they didn't like the fact that Martin Luther King Jr. wanted to help the poor, because they knew it was being done intentionally to cause the disparity. And that was kind of like what they called the stabbing them in the back with the brotherhood. Okay. It has been an intentional act to create wealth disparity by those who control the wealth, which is basically the richest people in the world, are the Jewish people. They created the disparity of wealth on purpose because they knew that they were trying to cause Yakuba, Isolele, to be punished for their disobedience to the Most High. Esau was given a dominion over his brother, but he hates his brother, so that's why all the things that we've gone through of wickedness, of devised wickedness, was intended to be hidden so that people wouldn't know that all the things that they have been doing to create all of the things that they've been doing was to cause people to be led astray and thinking it's okay to do these things, and then of course teaching it to where everybody thinks it's okay, even though the Messiah himself says, "Do not focus on the things of this world, nor put things up." But yet people don't understand, and they twist it and say, "Oh no, this is a blessing. This all this stuff you're getting is blessings." Okay, this is where no one else can deliver her but the Most High. When he says, "And none shall deliver her out of mine hand." When he says, and now I will discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers." And this is why we keep trying to tell people, the people who are trying to do the feast days, look what he says: "I will cause all mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moon, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts." So that happened because we were still doing the feasts in the Kingdom of Congo. But when Rome came, done. It was, oh, they had their own, that's why they had their own feast that they made up, that they now caused us to do, and it ceased the right ones. This is why I keep trying to tell people, then they changed the calendar so you wouldn't know when they were. So when you're trying to keep the feast days the best of your ability from what you think you remember, you can only do your best to try to follow the commandments the best way to honor these dates if you know when they are, because everything is backwards. Like we said, they flipped it around to where you wouldn't remember. And then of course they had the counterparts make their Babylonian calendar to match up. Okay, this is what people don't understand. If you're following what they teach you out of Judaism to continue the way of the feast, you're always going to be wrong because Judaism is all backwards. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees. So all of the destruction that people don't understand that happened with colonization in Africa, the catalyst of that was the Kingdom of Congo. People don't understand that. That was the catalyst. Because the other nations, like I tell people, they were not significant. They were lower than the Bantu people, the Bena Kongo. That's why when you call an African a Bantu, they can get offended. Like, hey, I'm not no Bantu. No, don't call me that. Okay, because they know that this is some of the things that happen. They just don't talk about it. Okay. Revelation 16. This is the proof that not everybody's the same. Not all God's children, if he's pouring vials to make you drink blood. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul in the sea died. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and the mountains, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of water say, "Thou art righteous, O Tata nZambi, who art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy." So what this scripture is saying is, and of course they always want to apply it to the Christians when it was actually Christianity, Rome, that was doing the slaying. This is what people don't understand. Rome was the one doing the slaying in the name of Jesus, okay, that this has to do with the Bena Kongo of Isolele, the Bantu people, and like what happened with the Tokuists and those people who were connected to Yakuba, Isolele. So the Most High is saying, and this is the reality of it, for all of the Black people that were sent, the 12 tribes that were sent into slavery, that were slain and their blood was spilled, okay, the nations would then drink the blood that was spilled when he changes the rivers, okay? This is what's going to happen. People are going to be tripping about it. They're going to think, oh, well, they've already seen certain things like that where they see areas where the blood turned red. And then, of course, the scientists say, oh, yeah, this is what happened because they're trying to cover up the fact that it's the Most High doing it, okay? And this is, okay, so if you want to know why you had one of the hottest summers on record last year, is because of this one. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. So everybody, so this is the real, this is kind of they claim that they invented air conditioning because of people who had fevers and all this other stuff. But there was the anticipation, though, that people don't understand, that they knew the sun was going to do this in the future. Ice, keep it cool, whatever. Stay indoors, don't go outside, don't get burned. I actually know because I remember my skin was blistering and it usually would tan. That's why I try to tell people when I went there, I say, wow, this is a different sun. Okay. Men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name. And that's why everybody was talking about, gosh, damn, it's hot, how is a mother, cursing and, blaspheming or whatever. Okay. But of course, they're going to blaspheme Congo and nZambi. Oh, these zombies, which had over the plagues, they repented not to give him glory. And the fifth angel poured his blood upon the seed of the beast, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. So, like I said, there's darkness coming. The blaspheme the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and they repented not of their deeds. So all of these plagues right here are connected to what happened with Kemet and Gipiti. And this is exactly what is around the corner for many people. So here's what he says. That's what we're trying to tell people, not, oh yeah, we're all God's children. Now listen to this. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirits of devils. And now we know that that's Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, because the Most High did not create a religion. Like I said, I'm Klistu, I'm Bantu Benguela. And the earth and the whole world to gather together the battle of the great day of Tata nZambi Almighty. See, it says right here, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole earth to gather them to battle of that great day of the Tata nZambi, of the Most High. So this is exactly what they're not telling you, is all of these military forces that are working together with the spirit of devils are gathering together to prepare to battle against the Most High. They've been trying to do this for years, but they've convinced you you're in God's army, you're this and that, we're doing God bless America, this and all that. But the reality is they have been scheming and plotting to get their revenge against the Most High because, like I said, they're not all from him. And they know that he's trying to kill us. Till then, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth, he keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. This is why we have to work on making sure we're doing our best. Okay. Now we know this Amagido is in the Congo. Of course, they put it in the Hebrew. And then they gathered them together into a place they call, and this is not, they keep saying, oh, it's the valley of Harmageddo in Israel. No, this is going to be in the kingdom of Congo. There's actually a place that actually bears this name. This is going to be where, like I talked about, Toko says the Messiah will build his city. Okay. So now, just to show you we're not all the same, not everybody, like I said, it says it right here. And these shall make war against the Lamb. So if you're making war against the Lamb, you're not the same. And see, that's why the people are going to be deceived. Because you're being called to make war against the Lamb, and you don't even know it. And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is in Tina Valentino, King Kings. And they that are called, and then it says, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So they must bear the name of the book, people in the book, the Messiah. This is why they have tricked people into thinking, oh yeah, everybody, the Messiah is coming for everybody that calling him a Jesus, all this different stuff. And you don't even know you're going to be making war against the Lamb and not with him. Okay. This is why we try to tell people, and let's go back to Malachi. For behold, that day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all of the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. Now, take into consideration that the Most High is aware that he sent his children into this captivity. He's going to have to pull them out, the ones that are trying to return to him, and we're going through cleansings and being restored, okay? But he knows that there are those who have led his people to do wickedly through lies and deception because of what he said. They said, it's not our fault, they sinned against the Most High, so we're devouring them, okay? But we must turn away from those sins, and we have to continue to work to do better. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, for that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So I know that here, especially what's going on in my city, that there's a lot of dead things dying. That people are actually literally going to the trouble of switching out their lawns from grass to rocks or something different. Okay, this is going to become a global phenomenon. Not going to just stop. That's part of the reason why they're trying to create rain, because they're trying to counter this. But the Most High can always watch. You'll see, it's not gonna work. But at the same time, they're also doing it. They're doing it, claiming that the Most High actually can control. Even when it doesn't matter if you make rain or make weather, the Most High can still control it. It's like, people don't understand. It's still his creation. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with the healing of his wings, and you shall go forth. So the name you're supposed to be fearing is not Lord, it's not God. That's why people don't fear him the way they should, because of the fact, but they fear the name of Kongo. This is what they shake with. They know the Tata Yave and Fumo Yave Kongo, the Bena Kongo, because he is the truth. This is why it's the way, the truth, and life. The way, away, truth, Kongo, Obomi, life. Okay. And listen to this. This is why, okay, this is one of the main reasons why they are doing their best to secretly destroy the Bantu Black people without people knowing it. and keeping it under wraps, because it says, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in that day, and I shall do this, says Tata nZambi of hosts. So all of the Most High's chosen people that the Most High brings back as the remnant are going to tread down all of the wicked. That's why the Most High is saying, not everybody's the same. You have been, that's why Kuswa Kongo, he then to the point said, you are of your father the devil. He was talking to the specific converted people who were leading people astray. That's why he even said, don't even mess with the Sanhedrin. He said, don't mess with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Oh, Jesus loves everybody. Not if you're talking like a Pharisee and a Sadducee, doesn't. He said these people will get theirs. They're going to get their just due. And this is why he said in the when he talked about the lukewarmness, I spit you out of my mouth, meaning that you worship lukewarm means you try to worship, you're worshiping two deities at the same time. That's why you say you got to be one side or the other. The religious faction of society has been a cause to split the truth and lies down the middle, where you don't even see that you're already attached to the fallen one. Because like I said, it's automatically default. When you're lukewarm, you go to Satan. That's the way it works. That's what it means. That's why you have watered down scriptures. Okay. And the book of Enoch proves exactly what I'm going to say again. That the nZambi commanded the kings and the princes that exalted and who also dwell on the earth, saying, open your eyes and lift up your horns if you're capable of comprehending. Okay, I said this before, people don't comprehend the elect one. Now it says this here. It says it right here. The word of his mouth shall destroy all the sinners and all the ungodly, who shall perish at his presence. And what that literally means is all those who carry the spirit of Yissa'Yah with them, because he was the word, and Tata nZambi himself, those who are with Tata nZambi, the Bena Kongo, you become the word. Because remember I told you, the Bantu people who were the Bena Kongo were the word. We didn't have to read a book. We didn't have to go study scriptures. The scriptures were falling out of you. So those that are doing this, they will bring the parent. This is why things are happening that people can't comprehend, because the prayers of those who have this is starting to impact the world. They don't even know. And it says that all the sinners and all the ungodly who shall perish at his presence, meaning what? He's coming. He's going to be here. The creator of heaven and earth will be here at his presence. Okay, but I know I've gone over this before. What people gotta start to understand is there's a distinction between those who are in the truth and those who are not, and those who are returning to the truth. Like I said, my mission was specifically given to expose the lies of this world for those who continue to teach it. And this is one of the reasons why so many people are starting to learn, because the words I'm bringing is actually cutting people like a knife. Like I said, it's going to cut you like a knife, and this is what's going to make you angry or upset, because it's going to make you say, wow. So, this is why the people snap back, because it starts to cut you to where you're like, wow, this makes sense. That's why the Most High's words, when he calls you to speak on his behalf, must be the truth. Because if not, you're going to line up with those who are speaking blasphemies. But they convince you they're preaching the truth, but they cannot demonstrate power. It's like, hello, the word makes you demonstrate power. Again, the word of the Most High that is within you, if you say you have the word of the Most High, you will demonstrate power. So this is why we know not everybody is the same. You know, this is why they're really pushing this whole concept of we must coexist and love everybody and blah, blah, blah. It says in the scripture, it says, be not equally yoked with unbelievers for a reason. It also says, do not do not have workings with those who who engage in wickedness. It's like, no, you don't. When people are willfully doing things that are wicked, you don't make that your habitation. Does that mean you hate these people? No, necessarily. It's just that you have to be careful because what they are doing, and I've learned this, you know, in this time, they are they are manifesting spirits that are actually causing you trouble. And see, in this man, where this is why people understand, as much as we're cleaning up now, we're still dirty because we're in the land of filth to the Most High. We're in the land where you have idols, you have the land of uncleanliness. That's why you have so many cities that, oh, we got to clean up our city and clean up our image and da, da, da. It's like, wait a second. But how did it get like this? This is the problem people don't get because they create the problem, then they act like they want to solve it. A quick lesson, okay? And this just goes to show you that I was telling you before about the fact that there were other giants because Nimrod was big. Look, it goes into a war with the king of Elam and loses. So who was the king of Elam? Pretty powerful dude there. Okay. This is why we try to tell they do fight each other. Okay. And this is where I'm going to show you why we're not all the same. And it was in the 15th year of Abram, dwelling in the land of Canaan, Canaani, which is in the 7th year of the life of Abana, Yapoah, you say Yahuwah, we say Yapoah, Yahuwah, sorry, appeared to Abana in the year, and he said to him, I am Yapoah, who brought thee out from Kasdim to give thee this land for inheritance. And it's a huge one, by the way. Now, therefore, walk before me and be perfect and keep my commands. For to thee and to thy seed I will give this land for an inheritance from the river of Engipity unto the great river Euphrates. And this is, I'm going to tell you, this is why they changed the location of this river. Because it's not in Northeast Africa. No. Okay. It is the entire, this is one of the reasons why actually this Sahara Desert started to happen because it's cursed right now, but it's going to change. It's going to turn back to green when the captivity is over. The inheritance goes from Sahara to sub-Sahara because we own That's why he says the river of Mitzrayim is the Nile. Okay. The Nile River comes all the way down into Congo and further down. Yes, that's all the land of Abana. And thou shalt come to thy fathers in peace and a good age. In the fourth generation shall return here in this land and shall inherit it forever. And Abana built an altar, and he called upon the name of Yapoah and appeared to him and brought up sacrifices upon the altar to Yapoah. So like it says, the inheritance goes to the generation for forever. So that we're kicked out of it now, but it can't be given to anybody else but to his seed. Again, we're not all the same. This is why they want to preach this concept of adoption, when the only way to get to the Most High is through his children and Yissa'Yah and their Savior. This is why they had to change where he came from, so that you would not know that your true inheritance is the entire continent of Africa, pretty much, and the northeast part, and then you will control the other nations in the land, because all of the earth, like I said, is Bena Kongo. The earth of this is of his is his world. All right. I didn't want to go too much longer because I just wanted to talk about this, but the reality is so many people have been conditioned to believe something without reading, that there's no way everybody can be the same. There's a distinction. Let me go, I'm just going to finish with Isaiah chapter 2, actually. Let me read this again. Not everybody is going to get into the kingdom just because you call yourself a Christian. Lie. The word of Yissa'Yah, son of Amos, concerning Yaounde and Salama, Yehuda and Yahama. It shall come to pass in the last days, and this is the reason, one of the reasons why many of us who were targeted not to keep our mouth shut, and this is one of the actual secrets that Dr. King gave Zulu Mongo and others who try to say, we know where this place is. You're calling the other place wrong. Okay. That the mountain, the Zulu Mongo of Tata nZambi's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. So it has to be established, which means not there yet. We're working on it. Well, we know what Toko did, but it's going to be built. This is when they talk. This is what they're talking about when they said, when Toko said that the Yissa'Yah Klistu would build his city. This is it. And he talked about, where it was going to be built. And it shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations will flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up to Zulu Mongo, the mountain of nZambi, to the house of Yave of Yakuba of nZambi, and he will teach us his ways. This is why you have to be in the way. Remember, he says he's going to teach us to be in the way, and we will walk in his path. There's a specific path, and out of Shioni shall go forth the law. The law has not been done away with, and the word of Tata nZambi from Solomon, Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people. Now, the question you have to ask is, what is going to cause people to come to his mountain? The plagues. People are going to run away from where they are. It isn't just going to happen automatically. There has to be an event that causes this. This is where the world is going to meet its demise, because people aren't just going to come unless there's a reason to come. This is the thing they have to understand. And again, it specifically says his prison house will be on top. Hey, man, they keep teaching lie all the time. Therefore, thou hast forsaken, see, it says here, therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and the soothsayers like the Philistines, they please themselves and the children of strangers. Okay. So what he's saying is the other nations have forsaken Yakuba, the house, and they are like doing witchcraft and all these different things. That's why we keep saying there's a lot of sorcery going on. I've been now victim of it again, to say that they continue to fight us. And I'm not saying I mean I didn't fall for it. I'm just saying I knew they would continue to attack and do spiritual attacks, because this is how desperate they are to destroy those who are teaching the ministries of the truth. Because they want to create frustration, anger, confusion, get you to quit, stop. That's why Yissa'Yah said people don't understand. Those people never stop bugging him, okay? So they're not going to stop bugging you either, especially if they know that now you represent what it should be saying. Again, people want to talk about the Most High has no problem with statues and idols. Garbage. The land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man bowed down, the great man humbleth himself, therefore forgive them not. Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust for the fear of nZambi, for the glory of his majesty. But there are going to be those that are going to be called to be a part of this. The lofty looks of men shall be humbled. So again, you're going to see now the most proud people, the most arrogant people on the planet humbled, down. For the day of the nZambi of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty. So again, that's why we have to be humble and lower ourselves and be in humility with the Creator. Because he says it's going to be on those that are proud and lofty, and upon everyone that lifted up and shall be brought low. Okay. So again, this whole gospel, that's why Toko said, Simon Toko said, they're saved by grace through faith. What is the point of the lake of fire then? You can't, then that means nobody goes. Okay. That's the issue here. You gotta know, actually, it's knowledge that kills you, not lack of faith. Because he says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. People, lack of knowledge is what kills you with the Most High. And see, the world has been conditioned to be ignorant of the full truth. That's the issue here. The knowledge that's being taught makes you ignorant of the full reality of the truth. They made you smart in ways that it doesn't count. It doesn't help you one iota to know some of the things that they taught you. It's just a bunch of useless things to turn you into workers. That's what you are. To be obedient to the system, to do what you're told, and be destroyed to go against it. That's why when it happens, when you do come out of the harlot system, you will be targeted. I've had this discussion even with my own family. It's like, there's not much you can do lest the Most High helps you to do it, to go against, because now you're going to suffer when you break free of the matrix. That's how they mocked it in the movie. See, this will give you a good idea that people thought, oh yeah, I'm just going to come to the Most High and everything will be easy, breezy, breezy. This is the mockery of how they did it with the Matrix. When they realized that they were plugged into a computer simulated life, did the Matrix just say, oh yeah, cool, bye? No, they came with all ages. What? Stop. Because the concept was, don't let them pull anybody else out. So that's the whole thing here. As we continue to pull people out, they send in more people to stop it. No, don't let them do that. They're gonna keep sending all kind of stuff. No. The more people are made self-aware of the system that is controlling them, to learn the things about the fact that they're really not citizens but employees of businesses, that they've been given numerology to because they keep track of you, they code you, you're in it. That's the concept here. And then they've made it look all, just part of life. It's part of things that happen. It's the way the world works. No, they modified this. They made you think this is how the world works. And the Most High is like, no, this is the Babylonian mindset. To make you think that the knowledge and the information and the way you're, providing all the entertainment and the gambling and the sports and all this different stuff. And then of course, if we talk bad about certain things, it's like, no, but look at the name. Invictus is a demon. So anything that's called Invictus is Lucifer masquerading. They put these names and then they make it look like, oh, that's how sinister the devil is. That even the things that look like you're really helping people who have problems is actually misleading. Because technically, many people who suffer from ailments are supposed to receive spiritual healing from those who say they have the power. That's what they don't understand. All right, so this is one of the things you have to we're going to continue to hammer in. Salvation comes through the Bena Kongo, Bena nZambi of Isolele, Yissa'Yah. Not ISIS, Ra, and El people. That's why you all keep running over there to the Middle East and they keep telling you, or whatever you want to believe, go ahead. And they keep rebuking what you're saying. Of course, you do have some that have actually decided to join in. Not really, they say, oh yeah, we're the Messianic Jews. And it's like, first of all, Yissa'Yah is like, I don't know you. You're still Esau. And I'm not, he was never white. But the world wants to continue to think that. Okay, I walk by somebody's window today. I'm like, no, I said, and look, that's fine. Continue to think that way. Because when they're going to do this thing that's going to really cause, like I told you, there's going to be an event. They have to actually play out what they've been telling the Christians. This is what they told me about the whole Gogo and Magogo thing. It's part of the whole role play to prepare people for this next strong delusion, because it's really an exodus, not a rapture. This is what people don't understand. You've been deceived into thinking there's a rapture coming when it's really an exodus. But they hid this fact, and then they try to destroy the people who are trying to go to be in the exodus. Okay, so like I said, the masses have been brought to Chrislam unawares. It's already a one world religion. They actually had, there's a guy who actually pointed out, he said they celebrated, all the major religions had their celebrations this weekend. And there was a lot of things that some underground stuff that took place too. So now they put everything, all of it got put together. You just didn't know. So the one world religion has already began to manifest itself into now the one world government, or to the one world currency, to the one world everything. But it's only going to be for a little while, because we have to, this system has to come down, like it says. But see, those who will be taken to the wilderness soon won't have to be dealing with this, will be in control of all of this. That's what we understand. Like it says, they will come through, they will have to come through his people to get the salvation that they're looking for. But for many, that's why I said, now we've come to the point where we've even said it, trying to persuade people is too late. People have now, it's like, hey, the Most High is starting, he's shutting the door. They don't get it by now. It's gonna hit hard. I'm telling you, real soon. Anyway, Sambulolo, Zola Quingi, and Aweza Yave Kongo Tala, and continue to grow and learn and be in connection to Tata nZambi and get the understanding that you're needing, because you know I've tried to drill this into people I know even now. I'm like, look, fine, there's things that you don't feel that right, that's what's going on with this world, or what's going on with things, other things, whatever. But I'm just telling you, it's like you don't have time really to deal. I said I already knew. It's like there's certain things that are happening. I knew were gonna trigger some things that already started to happen, and I didn't quite figure it out. I said now I see why I saw certain things the way I saw it, and it's like I've told people, I'm like, I told them, I was like, oh, you don't even know. I've seen these things. There's people that think they're going somewhere and they're not going nowhere. Wait till you see the collection. Oh boy. The collection is going to be horrible. I'm telling you, people are going to lose their minds. But anyway, Sambalolo, Zoloklingi. Mukanda, Nuvuvamu Yala, Mukanda Mbote Yenge.